morning, could be afternoon, could even be evening. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be looking at the language of the spirit world. So I've just had a weekend since the last video, so I hope you've enjoyed your weekend. I had a demonstration, then a full day workshop, then another demonstration. And the same thing comes up time and time again when at the workshop, you know, the expression of that language of the spirit world. So firstly, we need to understand that it is a form, it's a language that we try to express like we do with our English language, like Spanish, German, Italian, whatever it'll be. We are trying to express it. We sense it, then we give it words. That's just everyday, that's everyday life. And those of us that are bilingual or speak multiple languages, the same thing will happen. I assume it comes in one way that you register it, and then you have to formulate your sentence to then give it off. This is no different whatsoever from that of the spirit world. It comes in, and as we formulate it, we give it, we package it, and then we try to give it off as a recognizable statement. So like any other language that we're trying to learn, this is going to take time. This isn't going to happen immediately. Those of you that have spoke multiple languages will understand it. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of understanding the syntag of the words and how they're meant to formulate that particular sentence, and then give it off. This is no different to the language of the spirit world. What we need to do also is maybe lose the boundaries and the restrictions. I've seen so many restrictions this weekend at my latest workshop. And the restrictions are that of another idea, of someone else, their philosophy, and the way that they are expressing their relationship with the spirit world. The problem we have here is at no point do you sit and try and analyse what frame of mind you're in, you know, what frequency you're at, what vibration you're currently at. You get up in the morning, you go about your daily tasks, whether that's being a mum or a working dad or a working mum even. You go about your daily business. At no point do you try and understand the mechanics of your brain and understand how that works and how that functions and what frame of mind do I need to be in, how do I need my intentions. It's you just go about your daily business. And so many of you are caught up at the moment with trying to understand, with like recent videos going out about sitting in your power and changing your frequency and changing your vibration and understanding, and yet you don't require that for your everyday life. And I stress that mediumship is so natural, it's so simple and so easy, but we are getting caught up with the idea of the science and the mechanics behind it. So firstly, if we lose that need to understand, if you understand that you have an imagination and you can see things when I prompt you to, like look at the red ball, look at the white elephant, look at a loved one in your mind, look at your home from a distance, what colour's your car, so on and so forth. We start to build that up in that space within our mind, and we don't question that, we just do it. We just, as I speak about a bucket, as I speak about the long corn in the cornfield on a bright summer's day, you start to build the imagery as I'm speaking, and in no context whatsoever are you trying to understand how your energy is, where your power is, what you're doing. At no point are you doing that. You just go with the sensation that you are having. Now the problem we have is that we all have a different interpretation. Not one of you would have seen the same bucket, the same red ball, the same field, the same meadow with the sun beating down on it, the same forest. Not one of you would share the exact same image there, because we are unique, we are individual, and we are this personality that this mind tries to express on a daily level. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run an example. I'm going to post a picture on my Facebook page. So along the bottom here, we're going to have Medium Charlie Kelly's Facebook page. And I will post the same photo on my Instagram account, which will also be posted there. And I want you to give me your interpretation of the picture that I post up. So after this video, head over. I'll leave the links in the description so you can head over, sign in, log in, whatever it is you do, then give me your interpretation. And just look in the comments below on either account and see the difference that you are all having. It may be similar, but they will be so far apart as well. So try and lose the restrictions of what you're placing upon your mediumship. Once we start to learn this art of expression, this relationship that we are building with the spirit world, we learn. So as a very lame example for you, and one that I constantly give in my classrooms, is that if I'm aware of someone being like a Michelin star chef and their meals are amazing as they lay them out, and I get this about their sense of being, for some reason in my mediumship that means they can't cook a thing. Now I know that is completely mental, but that is the database, that is the reference that I have developed with my team. So as that comes in, I know without a doubt that statement needs to be, this person would burn an egg. And every single time it will come back as yes. And so I've learned that. I've learned that through that interpretation and over time, through that relationship that I'm building, that when that expression needs to come out, it's going to be correct. I've taken the time to understand my reference base, not someone else's reference base, my reference base. And so what happens over this course of time is that I learn where I've made my mistakes, and I do overthink it. I'm analytical, and I have gone back and I've looked, and then I've remembered, the last time that happened, they couldn't cook. And then what do you know, like the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times that's come through, they've never been able to cook. Maybe I'll say that the first time, and then it's hit 1, hit 2, hit 3, and now I've got this nailed in effect with the cooking subjects. As we go along and we start to recognise our relationship that we're forming, as this imagination is really coming into fruition, we're starting to see things much more clearly, and we're getting it more pinpoint accurate, and we're being more hits, shall we say. We're getting it right, we're getting it right, we're getting it right, and then very rarely we get one wrong, and we've got to go back and we've got to try and get it from another angle. At this point, I can then maybe look into trying to understand how my energy is, why was I better on that day than that day, what was the ingredients that were involved on said evening or said reading, etc. I can start to understand, and then at that point I can start to build my own philosophy. Not the philosophy of a mentor, not the philosophy of a tutor, not a philosophy of someone that says they're good. My own philosophy. And this is going to be the one that I trust, because this is the one that I'm with every single day, or every time that I go to the spirit world to develop this relationship. Now, I've said it a million times in this, it's about the expression of the relationship that I'm having with the spirit world. And just look at it in your own form, your own life, with the relationships that you have had or are having, and how easy some of those have been and how difficult some of those have been. And then through the interpretation of other people, how they view your relationship or their opinion on your relationship or relationships that you have had. And you start to see the different forms and the different interpretations of the projection that you are giving, or through or taking their opinion off the expression you have made. And you start to see the different angles, you start to see how many variations there are of opinion, of expression, just in the relationships that you have had or are having. So we need to remember that we are developing a new technique for speaking. In effect, we're learning another language. We're learning, if you only know English, then you're learning your first, second language. You may be bilingual or multiple languages there. You're just adding to your vocabulary in your mind. And what you're trying to do is learn how to express that properly. Now, like learning anything, let's say Spanish, we get the Zin tag of the words in the wrong order. You know, in Britain we will say, can I have a table for four, please? That Zin tag may be completely different in Spanish, and it's done in a different way. Equally Italian, whatever it will be. They may have to swap it all around. So the individual understands what it is that you're saying. This is no different from the language that you're learning through this relationship that we are building with our spirit guide or our spirit team, our spirit fill the blank, and then the expression of that after. And all we need is the acknowledgement and the understanding from said client, said congregation, said audience. And again, that will be unique to each and every single communication that you do, because the ingredients have changed slightly. So we need to learn how to package it. We need to learn how they want that to be heard, and the best way that we can do that. And we can only learn that not through a classroom or through exercises, but through experience and taking time to understand what it is that you have developed there, and then express it in the right way. There is no dem that is going to be the same. There is no reading that is going to be the same, because the ingredients change all the time. The person that you are speaking to will want to hear it in a particular way, in a particular order. Maybe they don't want that thing spoken about, and there you are talking about it. So very quickly we have to adjust. So I always say that no two dems are the same, because I have to gauge at what level my demonstration is going out at. Who am I speaking to? What is their understanding? Some venues I go to, and it's a little bit more generic and a little bit more love and light. Don't get me wrong, there's still evidence there, like huge amounts of evidence, because I strive for that. And there are other venues that I serve that only want the facts and the figures and the high detail end of the communication, because that's the congregation is used to that kind of communication. So I have to adjust everywhere I go. So my mediumship is never the same twice. And this is through the expression. Now, try and break that down. No relationship that I have is the same with all the people within my world. My relationship with my mum is very different to the one that I have with my daughter, or my son, or my friend, or a colleague. They're all completely different. And we approach that differently every day without thinking about it. We just do it. We just get up and go, right, I've got to go and see my mum. Right, I've got to go and pick my daughter or my son up. Right, I've got to go work. I've got to work with so and so today. And so we adjust it. At no point do we sit and go, right, what frequency do I need my brain at? Or what I'll do is I'll circulate my breath, and we learn through the practice, through the experience of spending time with said person. And this is exactly the same as that of the spirit world. As I go to work with my team, I've learned that this is how I'm going to work, and this is how I'm going to be. Now I adjust it for the person on the receiving end of that. So this may go a little bit over some of your heads. This may be a little bit too frank and blunt. I don't mean to cause offence, but the reality is what I see out there in my classrooms, at my demonstrations, is this getting lost in all the jargon. And the point of the channel is to eliminate the jargon, eliminate the nonsense, and let you, the common person, the normal person, the individual that you are, experience the magic that is of the spirit world. So if you like the video, give it the thumbs up, share it, comment, engage with the channel as always. I'm going to jump on and post this picture onto Medium Charlie Kelly Facebook and Medium Charlie Kelly Instagram, and engage with the photo that I published there, and we'll take a look at it. Maybe another video will come off of the back of it. So I'll pin them if you can pin it on Instagram. I'm not sure if you can actually, but on Facebook I'll pin it, and it will be there immediately as you go in. Like both formats there as well if you want, because I'll integrate between all platforms, and I think we're done for today. So hopefully there'll be a video Wednesday. I've got a busy week ahead. But I will try to get a video out. And as always, if there's something you want done, leave it in the comments. And if at all possible, I will create a video for you, the viewer, on the channel. So thanks for watching. See you all next time.